Hey guys, welcome to Raw Customs. I'm your host, Patrick Rapolo, and on this episode, the Black Panther helmet. Now, I've had several requests to build this helmet, and it's a helmet I really wanted to build myself. Ever since I saw the Civil War movie where he showed up, I just love what they did with the character, the way he moved and everything, but particularly I love the costume with all the fine detail they put in it. You know, somebody put a lot of thought into this costume, and it's one I was really excited to build. I really wanted to test my skills and see if I could get all that nice edging in, get everything engraved where it's just going to look super. I'm real happy with the build. Now, as far as difficulty goes on this build, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 5. It's a little bit more than an amateur build. And I say that because you really need to be pretty good with the heat gun, forming the parts and getting the edges to line up. Now, during the design phase, I did design where the pieces are glued together and the seams for most of them to be covered up with the overlays, but of course you can't get all of them, particularly in the front face area where the seams come together as you glue them down. In this case, you're going to want to get them flush when you do the gluing, because you're not going to want to come back and actually sand down those edges, because as you sand them, you're going to tear into all this nice detail work, and that's what makes this helmet pop and makes it look so good, is all this detail work. Now, I do have templates available for download, as well as a kit with all your pieces laser cut out and etched, ready for you to start your build. Now, whether you go with the template patterns or you go with the kit, either way, you're going to need to pick you up some sunglasses. Cheap sunglasses from the dollar store is what I picked up, and with the mirrored finish is what I recommend to give that nice look that the Black Panther has. Alright guys, you've seen the helmet. Here's how to build it. For this build, you're going to need 3 sheets of 5mm foam and 1 sheet of 2mm foam, mirrored sunglasses, contact cement and super glue, Plasi dip, spray paint, and tape, a heat gun, a glue gun, rotary tool or sandpaper, and a razor knife. Start with the center section of the top of the helmet. Use a heat gun to heat the back side of the piece, then flip it over and heat the top side. You'll want to do this for all the large sections. Mold the piece over something round. The piece should be rounded and concaved with the front section facing down. Once your piece cools, it should look like this. Next, heat the 2 top side sections. Mold these pieces to match the center section. Now it's time to start gluing your pieces together. I recommend contact cement. Apply glue to the side edges of the center piece and to the inside edge of the top side pieces. Give time for the glue to set up. This generally takes around 5 minutes. Then press your 2 pieces together, starting at the front edge. Since you've heated and molded the pieces, the foam may have slightly stretched or shrank. So pay attention as you glue your pieces together, particularly as you get close to the joints. You may have to slightly stretch the foam to fit the joints tight. Make sure to keep the front section curved down as you work your way to the side. Once you've glued the side section around halfway down, look to see if the back edges are going to line up. You may have to pull to shrink the foam or slightly push to stretch it as you work your way down to get the ends to line up. Now heat the top side section. Curve the thin part at the front down. The area at the back with the lines, you'll want to slightly bend up and curve down. Then work your way down the length of the piece and slightly concave it.
Next, apply glue to the outside edge of the top of the helmet. On all the edges, I recommend using 2 coats of contact cement. Apply your first coat and let it dry, then apply your second coat. This will give you a better bond between your pieces. On the top side section, apply glue to the top edge, starting from the first line, working your way around to the front edge. Press your pieces together starting at the front bottom edge. Take your time as you work your way to the back, making sure all your corners fit tight. Press your pieces together up to the point where you reach the lines on the side section. To help make sure your seams are pressed together tightly, you can hold one section down to the table while you press the other section in. This will help you get a tighter seam and a better bond. Next, apply glue to the bottom edge of the side section. Start from the center of the front area and work your way to the bottom point. Then apply glue to the inside surface area from the center area to the front. Next, take the section for the top of the eye. Apply glue to the top edge. This is the edge that curves out. Press your 2 pieces together starting at the lower point near the middle of the helmet. Work your way down to the point where the bottom curve starts to flatten out. Then slowly roll the eye section around to the inside surface area. You can cut off any extra length on the ends for this piece using scissors or a razor knife. Now heat the center side section and roll the front section over. You'll want around a 90 degrees bend right here. Then give a small concave along the length of the piece. Next, heat the earpiece. Lay it in place on the back side of the center side section. Roll it from the bottom notch around to the top. Pull the ends even and allow the piece to naturally curve up. Once the piece cools, apply glue to the inside curved edge and to the back edge of the center side section. Press your pieces together starting at the lower joint and working your way around to the top. Now apply glue to the top edge of the side section. Start from the second shallow corner near the center, working your way to the back top edge. Then apply glue to the bottom edge of the helmet, from the bottom of the eye section to the back. Press your pieces together, starting from the top of the ear and working your way to the front. Flatten the curved areas out as you work your way down the seam. This will allow you to get a tighter fit between your sections. Next, take the section for the back of the ear. The long side goes against the back surface side of the ear, and the short side should be facing up. Heat this piece and curve it to match the bow on the ear. Once the piece is cooled, apply glue to the long edge and to the inside surface area on the main piece. Press the pieces together, starting at the top corner of the ear and working your way down the edge. Now take the triangle piece for the inside of the ear. The longest side will face straight down and the shortest side will face to the back of the helmet. Next, grab a rotary tool and bevel the edge of the triangle that meets up with the top of the ear. Apply glue to the beveled edge as well as the back side and to the top and back inside surface area of the helmet. Press your piece in place, starting in the corner and working your way down the back edge. Then press the beveled edge in place, working your way along the top of the ear. Once your ear section is glued together, you can use a rotary tool or sandpaper to clean up the edges. Next, heat the top back section and mold it over something round. Apply glue to the front edge of your section and to the back edge of the helmet. There are center points marked on both sections. Press your pieces together, starting in the center and working your way out to the edges. Next, apply glue to the outside edge of the center of the helmet, to the bottom surface area of the inside of the ear, and the inside edge of the back of the ear. Press your sections together, working from front to back. The bottom edge of the center of the helmet lines up with the bottom edge of the inside of the ear, and the corner flaps at the back of the center section glue along the edge of the back of the ear. Heat the center section for the bridge of the nose. Give it a small bow across its length and bend the back section up. Apply glue to the edges and to the front edges of the side pieces. Press the sections together, starting at the front edge and working your way to the back. This is a good time to clean up the top of the eye using a sandpaper or a rotary tool. Next, heat the center face section. Mold it into a shallow bow across its length, and slightly bend the bottom section down. Apply glue to the nose edges on the helmet as shown. On the center face section, apply glue to the top and back edges of the flap and the back surface area of the top. Glue the surface area to the front edge of the nose. Make sure to keep the ends lined up. Bend the flap down and roll the surface side face up. Then glue it to the outside edge of the nose. Next, heat the bottom side section. Bow the front section and the bottom section down. Then concave and bow the section along its length. This is a large piece, so you may have to heat it more than once to form it. Next, apply glue to the back edge, the top edge, and the front edge. Apply glue to the edge of the front face piece and to the bottom edge of the helmet all the way around. If this seems like a lot, you don't have to apply the glue all at once. You can apply the glue in stages as you press your pieces together. This would take longer, but it might give you an easier build. Press your pieces together starting in the corner by the nose and work your way back to the cheek. Then work your way from the corner down the edge of the face piece. Take your time and make sure the edges of the seams are even. Once the face is pressed together, move back to the cheek area. Press your pieces together, working your way to the back. Once you get to the bottom of the ear, roll the section around and glue it to the edge of the back of the ear. Press the sections together about halfway up the back of the ear and leave the extra hanging. Then repeat the process on the other side. Once the side sections are glued in place, press the back edges together, working your way from the bottom to the top. Then heat the back center section. This will allow you to form and roll the back section into place. Press the back and top together, starting in the center. Then work from the edges to the middle, pulling the sections together. Now apply glue to the top edge of the nose and to the front edge of the helmet. Once the glue is set, press your nose in place. Heat the thin section for the chin. Fold the piece across its width and bow it along its length. Next, heat the bottom section for the chin. Slightly bow the piece and roll the front edge up. Apply glue to the front edge of the lower chin and the inside edge of the upper chin piece. Press your sections together, working from one edge and working your way around to the other end. Next, apply glue to the front and side edges of the chin piece and to the lower front edges of the helmet. Press the chin section in place starting in the corner and work your way down the side. Then from the corner, work your way across the upper chin and then down the opposite side. Next, heat the lower back section and mold it over something round. Apply glue to the top edge of your back section and to the back lower edge of the helmet. Press the lower back section in place, starting in the center using your hash marks. Work your way out to the sides and then to the front of the helmet. Now to get ready for paint. Take a piece of cardboard, then tear off strips of tape and roll them over where you'll have the sticky side face up as well as down. Lay out your overlay pieces by sticking them down to the tape. The pieces for the side look the same top and bottom, so make sure you have the opposite sides face up for each side of the helmet. Next, you'll need to seal the foam. I recommend using Plasti-Dip. I recommend using 2 light coats followed up by 2 heavy coats. You'll need to seal the helmet as well as the overlay pieces. Once the plasti dip is dried, you can spray paint your pieces. I used silver for the overlay pieces and flat black on the helmet. Once your paint's dry, you can glue down your overlays. I recommend using super glue for this part. Apply super glue to the back side of the overlays in sections. This will allow you to glue the pieces down a little at a time. This way you'll be able to lay down the pieces straight and not get glue where you don't want it. I recommend placing your overlays on the helmet first, dry without glue. This will allow you to see how the sections are going to lay down, so you can plan best how to glue down your piece. Once all the overlays were laid down, I covered the helmet in 2 coats of matte clear. To finish the piece off, you'll need some mirrored lenses. I used a set from a cheap pair of sunglasses I got from the dollar store. And a hot glue gun will allow you to glue the lenses in place. Alright guys, there it is. The Black Panther helmet. You can actually see how nice that detail work went in there.
That is the laser cutter. I got to give the credit to that because cutting this by hand with this much detail working, it would take quite a long time to do, and it would definitely not be as perfect and sharp as this is. As far as putting this together, like I said, the biggest tip I have for you is take your time, be patient, don't get in a rush with this one. Take every piece, section at a time, get it molded right. Now, if you did mess up the first time when you heated it and molded it, you can always reheat it and mold it again. However, every time you mold the foam, it actually stretches a little bit, majority of the time, or may even shrink. So be aware if you do it multiple times, you're going to get the foam where it's not going to fit as nice as it would if you can get it right the first time. On another note, I am working on other kits for you Star Wars guys, especially guys been writing in about the Shore Trooper suits and stuff. I am working on those as far as rescaling them. I've got a larger one here and a smaller one, so I'm trying to get two sizes out for you guys. Rework the back piece, the backpack section, I guess you could call it, so it's nice and crisp. But that's coming down the line. It'll be put out in stages of videos for, you know, each piece, the arms, the legs, the chest piece, the abs. So I'm trying to get all that together so I can roll it out pretty much all at once, back to back. So it'll be ready for you guys when you're ready to build, and you won't be waiting too long as far as the video how-to videos. Alright guys, that's it for this video. God bless, I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.